Hey friends, welcome to the kitchen. My name's Angela. I'm the Inquisitive Farmwife, and I'm so glad that you are here. If you're new to my channel, go ahead, push that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content, because you never know what I'm going to be up to. So today we are going to make some pecan pie cookies. That's right, the best of both worlds, pie and cookie. I already have the oven preheated to 350 degrees. So next, we're going to work on the cookie base. I have my Grandpa's KitchenAid mixer today, so that's what we're going to be using upstairs here in the kitchen. And for the cookie crust, we're going to start out with some flour. I'm going to be making 1.5 batches today, so I probably won't give you the ingredients as I do it, but I'll make sure that down below I post where I got this from. It's called Best Cookie Recipes is the website, and I will do my best to remember to actually put a link to the recipe down below in the description box, along with other information that I know you're going to want to hear about. Today, we're going to be using quite a bit of butter. My little trick to you is make sure that you plan a little bit of ahead and you get some of these ingredients like your butter and your eggs and your corn syrup out of the refrigerator so that they can get nice and soft and they will blend so much better. So far, we have flour, butter, and we're going to go ahead and add some sugar. And lastly, we need some pecans. I went ahead and I am using the already chopped pecans, but you can save yourself a lot of money if you buy them in bulk and chop them yourself. I just happened to come across a deal where these were like $1/4 a piece, and I stuck them in my freezer knowing that a day like today, I would use them. I'm excited to try out this recipe because I love when shortbreads have nuts in the cookie, not just the filling. So I'm super excited about this. Putting on my mixing paddle and let the machine do the work. So while this is mixing away, I'm going to show you another little trick that I like to do. We could get out the Pam and we could spray this, but there's always a little bit of butter left behind on your papers. So I just take and use that last little bit, and I'm going to use it instead of a spray to coat my pan. As you can see, I have a very well-loved stoneware, and when it's this dark, it usually not much sticks anyway, so it doesn't take much. But if you look close, you can see that glossy sheen. Instead of putting it in the trash. All right. Our cookie batter is done. Here it is. So speaking of cookies, let me tell you the story of why I am making these cookies today. It is a multi-purpose project. I'm having some family over and I want to have a fun treat dessert. So I thought this would be delicious. We love pecan pie. Why not do this? I also have an upcoming girls event, a mom's night out, where we're going to do a cookie exchange. And so I'm making 1.5 batches so that I can have a full batch for my cookie exchange and a half batch here for the family at home. And today, if you didn't notice, it is also Jenny Goff's cookie collaboration. So today, there is going to be a bunch of YouTubers putting delicious cookie recipe. I am just one of many. So make sure you go over and check the playlist and see what all cookie recipes. But don't leave yet. We're not done. I'm going to dump our crumble out onto my cookie sheet. If you're making a regular batch at home, just use a 9x13 pan. Super clean hands, and if you think you're going to get sticky, a tip is to put that butter or your spray on your hands. But I think there's enough butter in the crust, we should be fine. And I just want to, as even as I can, press this into the bottom of my pan. The warmth of your hands will help that butter melt and just go right into place, and those crumbles will become a solid. If you don't want to use your hands, go ahead and just grab a roller and roll it out. But I kind of personally like all the little indentions because I think all that topping is going to get right down into all those little spots. Now this is going to go into our preheated oven for about 20 minutes. Okay, so while that is in the oven, we're going to go ahead and get started with the filling. And yes, we're going to use this same bowl because who wants more dirty dishes? I mean, it is the same cookie and all. So to our bowl, I'm going to start out by adding some brown sugar. Ooh, I hope I have enough. Did you know you can make your own brown sugar by just adding regular granulated sugar to molasses? Yep, that's it. Dark brown sugar, more molasses. Light brown sugar, less molasses. You can actually find exact measurements if you want online, but I usually just do what my heart tells me to do. We don't have quite enough, so I'm just going to fill in with regular sugar. Now a little flour. Some salt. Let's give these dry ingredients a quick mix. Nobody wants to take a bite of a bunch of salt. So if you just mix it a little bit before you add the wet ingredients, it makes it kind of evenly distribute a little bit better. Next, we'll add some corn syrup. I know there's some of you out there that are against that, but if you've ever made a pecan pie, you know you're going to use corn syrup. I'm using my spatula, this really tiny one that fits down in bottles nicely, to try to get as much of the corn syrup out as I can. I don't think I'm going to quite have enough, so just like your sugar, it's white corn syrup with molasses. This was in the fridge, so it's probably not going to want to come out very easy. But a little trick, much like honey, if you set it in hot water for just a little bit, it'll come out a lot easier. There we have it. A little trick for you when you're working with sticky stuff. If you put a little oil in here first, so like if you're making sweet bread and you use oil, you do the oil and then you would do your honey or whatever. We're going to need some eggs. I'm using duck eggs today. I'm a sticky mess. I got to clean up before we move on. Vanilla a la vencedora. If you know, you know. Oh, we don't measure with spoons around here. We use our heart with vanilla. Star of the show, pecans. And then a quick mix. Make sure you lock that lid on. I'm still going to make a mess, even if I do that. In a matter of, I don't know, 30 seconds, that was done. Looks just like pie filling to me. What do you think? So I'll just let this sit until our cookie base is done. I could smell this. I know it's ready. But another indicator is there'll be a little bit of brown around the edges. Now we're going to add our filling to our hot base. Ooh, I hope it's going to all fit. It's going to be a close one. Huh. Looks like some of my flour base at the bottom kind of stuck and didn't mix well. So I'm going to do my best to kind of mix that all in together. Okay, into the oven. This is going to go for about 30 minutes. Fingers crossed we don't have a mess. They're out of the oven. It puffed up some, but we didn't spill. The edges are a little crispy on this side, so just be cautious. It will burn. Feel it as this cools. It will probably kind of flatten out. Do not try to cut it now. I know you're going to want to taste it. You're really going to want to. I do. We have to wait till it completely cools.